no die. Stars bringing the street war, bust shot, let the heat roll, rise flow in the red street. Mad fellas with a bread scheme. I come from the street, can cover the street. Crack blocks and whisper, that's where me and my niggas chill. The fuck you might get shot, 9 jab boys we get hot blood. As the shook like money, we need so shut up and listen. Hold up, go ahead.
Hello.
Hold up, go ahead. Make you know they fuck up. Hold up, go ahead. Dance we go ahead. Hold up, go ahead. Dance we go ahead. The business, the pick your call, I know. Now me be the reason. You depend you, my guy, I know for sure. The fight gotta deal with. Money on your mind, but I got mine in my pocket. Cause I'm the big man, the real big man. Motherfucker, she hear this. Motherfucker, she hear this.
Hello, everyone. Good evening.
Your father left
Hello. What's up?
I'm not going down. Wait, waking up to the fuck up. Wait.
Hey. Hello. Good evening, everyone. How are you all doing? How's your Friday going? Hello, HT Plutorius. What's up? Hello, MC Trillion. You can kiss my ass. My hair black, my dick big. I don't need a tan. Hey, fuck your likes and the fleshy lies. Hello, Steven. Hello, Nikki. What's up? Good evening, everyone. Good evening. That's spraying off when they kick us off. Niggas speak as fuck. I can take your bitch out with no haircut. Say, wait, hold up. And I come to I'm fed up. Wait, hold up. Because they give me 17 and me show off. Wait, hold up. You want any investment that I know of? So, shut up before I want to throw a hit like a makeup. Man, I know the try. Man, you cool, man, I know. Come back, I'm just so good. It pass on my bully for the kid. I can check. Wait, hold up. Make you know to the fuck up. Wait, hold up. Go ahead. Oh, yeah, hold up. Wait, hold up. Go ahead. I said, hold up. Wait, hold up. Go ahead. Oh, yeah, hold up. Hello. Good evening, everyone. Hello, Mira. Good evening. God bless my soul when it comes to enemy. Let them know say man from the overseas. One, it is too strong. This is the team song. We all the team strong. Must go down to Kingston. Like roll up one time. Roll up one time. And roll up the team 2 times. Roll up the team 2 times. Hold the fuck up. Sorry, Sam 91. If you get topic, can't give us now. No stay for comment section. They ask which kind of topic with this one again. If you get topic for us, can't give us. Hello, Tabitha. How you doing? Hello, Tokam. I don't see no competition. Why you compare me to all of these lame ass rappers? I body rapper on a rapper track. I'm making niggas get a heart attack. I'm in a whole nother level. Fuck with them muscles and be like, hello, Purity. Good evening, everyone. How you all doing today? How's your evening going? Hey, hello. Yeah, can you please switch on your first caller for today so we have to see who we're talking to?
How are you? Add me.
So okay, so this topic now for wise people. So okay, do you have a child? I don't know, like so yeah, I don't tire for these Indian people, honestly. Hey, hi Frank Avan. HK waiting. As in first caller, see waiting in the show person. Like I don't even understand which kind of nonsense is this. I just tire for these Indian people, honestly. So good evening everyone. How you doing today? My name is Melody, and I'm your host for this evening live show. So today we'll be talking about like you can see the topic here down there. Are our parents responsible for how we turn out as adults? You know, sometimes people go to talk say as in get some kind of say people go to talk, maybe say they go to refer to your background. But do you think say now our parents have been Mustafa, please leave my life. We don't want to see whatever it is you're showing us here. Go to another go to another live and show them whatever it is you want to show them. Please leave my life. We don't want to see that. Hello, Fejli.
The international boy, DJ Perez.
HK, stop now. Waiting be that. So yeah, as adults, can we say our parents are responsible for how we turned out, or we can set the society or peer pressure? I mean, you get sometimes when we say things they happen where people say go they refer to their background and this guy. Please, how do they block people from live video? Someone teach me how to block from live video so I can block this guy, I beg. Okay. Someone please teach me how to block people from live video so I can block this guy out of this live video. So as I was saying, like our topic today, it's are our parents responsible for how we turn out as adults, or we can say it's peer pressure or the society at large. So I'll be waiting for your calls. I'm waiting for your opinions. Let's talk about this. But before we have our first caller, let's listen to songs. You know, today's age group, please respect yourself. So I'm waiting for our callers. I'm waiting for your opinions. You can also give your opinions on the comment section. Let's talk about this topic. Let's have fun, and you can also give in your song request because today is Friday and we also need to have fun. So send in your song request. Let's have fun and let's talk about this topic. Okay? Please, if anybody knows how to block someone on live video, please tell me because I need to block this Musta, whatever is his name. Okay, I've seen. Go ahead. Let's talk about how God died for us. We'll talk about that on Sunday. Okay, Psalm 91. We'll talk about that on Sunday. But if you want to talk about how God died for us, you can call in here and then we'll talk about how God died for us. It's not a problem. Hello, Evinet. How you doing? I'm fine. The room hanging. I'm good. How are you? My hair black, my dick big, I don't need a tan. Hey, fuck your lights and the fleshy lights, I'ma fix my fan. Got a silence on my pistol, I'm hush puppy with no. Good evening, good evening. Bilateral symmetry. How you doing?
Wait, hold up. And I come still, I'm fed up. Wait, hold up. If you like it, this me, you never show up. Wait, hold up. You want any investment that I do off.
So yeah, this is the topic. Waiting for opinions. I'll be waiting for our first caller. People should call in. We should talk about this today. I mean, it's been long I've been on this live, so please let's engage ourselves. Please don't make it boring. Are our parents responsible for how we turn out as adults? I saw somewhere where they wrote that parents are responsible for how kids turn out. Is it true or false? And parents, do you think that you're responsible for how your kids turn out as adults? I mean, this is a topic that it's either true or false. So, one of our callers, I'll be waiting for opinions, ideas on the comment section, and you can also call. Let's talk about this. Our parents are responsible for nothing. Picking we get sense, go get sense. But they say charity begins at home. That means anything we are not responsible. That means anything when any picking learn or anything we say adult do. That means he learn them from childhood. No be so. No be so them they take talk am. I make you see say sometimes if person do something, they go talk to if to say your father train you well, or if to say they train you well, if you know they behave like this. Don't you think like this statement is actually true, or you think it's not false? Like our parents actually responsible for how we turn out as adults, whether good or bad. Are they responsible? HK say no. Hello, Aminado. What's up?
Wait, hold up. Make you know to the fuck up. Wait, hold up. Go ahead. Oh yeah, hold up. Wait.
We learn most things, man. We learn. So I don't know whether now your parents do you or not your parents do you. Now you make we they talk about this topic. Are parents responsible for how we turned out as adults? Now question with me I ask. I don't know whether as they smoke now your parents do you or they don't do you. Me I don't know. But if you can't act that if you come talk or if you tell us whether now them do you or not. Eminado, how are you doing?
You're putting that think you're called, I know. Now maybe the reason. You depend you, my guy, I know for sure. The fight gotta deal with. Money on your mind, but I got mine in my pocket. Cause I'm the big man, the real big.
Our parent is responsible for nothing. Social media is responsible for everything happening to our parents nowadays. But what if to say maybe the parents been there extra cautious with their children and things maybe say their children they do? You think say their children for they carried away by social media? Sam, come talk you can't use Igbo talk, no problem. If you want me to even call you, Sam, I will call you in. Here it's a place for you to just give in your opinion, talk about it, and like it no matter how you can't take talk just come talk your opinion and then go. Hello Lillian, how you doing? Train up a child the way he should go, and so when he's old he would not depart from it. So they play a big role, even though we then decide if we think our parents taught us right or wrong. So now Eminado here is saying that our parents play 50-50 role. Abi shebi na wetin you dey talk for him. See, our parents play 50-50 role. That means if to say they train the pikin well, the pikin no go diverge go another way. Abi shebi na wetin you dey talk, Eminado. Hello, Easy Banks. Hello, hello, hello.
Over. To chill on the sofa.
All right.
Why you just stop my music like
What's
that?
your name and where you calling?
I'm coming from Ireland.
Okay, and our bros there. What's your name and where you calling from?
Oh God, mommy and this bros can go inside left.
Adama ni na-ekwu.
Hello, Beverly. Hello, Chris. Good evening, Efosa. Happy birthday, Efosa. All right, bros. Good evening. What's your name and where you calling from before we proceed?
Nna afa mba okwu dịrị ga.
Ewo. Ha. I don't understand that one. Though.
Agwa ndị agwa m na-eji Igbo kwuo okwu hie. M na-eji Igbo kwuo okwu hie agwa gị agwa ya ụka akpara akpa eji isi na-ekwu ya.
You know, Zubby speak English. I don't understand.
Ama m asụ n'oyibo na n'ogodo a.
Don't speak Pidgin. I don't choke you now.
So, otu nsi wee gwa gị na comment section na.
I don't speak Pidgin.
So now we be say,
how's it go?
I dey smoke Igbo now. You go come tell me say, na from my papa cause am abi na my mama cause am. How?
Okay, at what age when you start the smoke Igbo?
Me ba.
Now you are the ask now. Now you talk
You know, say one thing be say our country himself. If he come out, you go to see some kind things. You go to learn. Even when you small, you go to copy. No be true. Nobody grow for inside. Say okay, then inside room till they go grow. They come outside now. They go school now. Now they see some kind things now. So now your parents may you come they copy, may you come they learn, may you come they carry they do anyhow. No nah. Now you choose to learn.
Okay, very now you don't talk your point. I think our sister here gets something to counteract with you they talk. All right, my sister, go on.
So I said it in the comment section. I say train up a child in the way he or she should grow, and when they are old, they will not depart from it. Our parents get a very big role to play as parents. It is not up to us when we feel that we don't get sense we say we don't get. It's not up to us to say, this one my mama, my papa teach me not true. And if I follow them, it will take me very far for life. Or it's not up to us to say, I beg my father and my mama, they don't live their life. They don't let person, they have to carry those their old mentality because they want me person to enjoy their life. And then me, I go live my life as I want to live their life. So now up to us. But our parents know saying that their duty to say, my pikin, I won't make it go, make I train on this way. So that he will go this path for life, and I know so this path, if you follow him, it will lead them to good way. So now up to us as the children, when we feel say we don't get sense, we feel say our sense don't they grow past our own papa and our mama. Now up to us to say, no, me I not feel live life as my mama and my papa live life. Me I go jail, I go.
The matter is very simple.
You get so it's I'm still saying that as parents they have a very big role to play. Because now you choose say you want to obey. I believe say 80% of parents not go tell you say my pikin will obey or forget, enjoy your life or not live life like this or not do what we do as parents or not live how you go talk now as they go say parents children get chores to do for house now. Parents they go train you like that say, okay, my pikin, if you eat finish for evening, you know say now your turn to wash plate, go wash plate. Why? Okay, there's that kind of pikin you not go visit for outside now. can't eat finish, throw away plate. Because say you not the house, they don't need to tell you. Say because
Oh, you go there, yeah. This matter go long go.
if
So
they
you
hear
need to answer question now.
they hear pigeon, so
Okay.
you know we can't go
Melody, say you
outside.
understand, but
Okay.
Oyibo go tell us one or two things. Because me, I need to ask some questions. Whether not from my papa Elena, I been from my mama Elena.
Wait now. Wait now. You don't talk your own. She don't talk her own. Make our Oyibo sister talk her own now. Good evening. What's your name and where you calling from, ma'am?
Good evening, my sister. You know, say my name is Tokam because Nami Tokam.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
thank you for the topic. The topic is very interesting, Sha, because you know, say me, I'm a teacher, and I get 3 pikin.
Okay.
So from psychology, we know already say you get some percentage where you go learn from your parents. They say if you dey young, if you be small pikin, make your parents give you roots. Time you grow up, make your parents give you wings to fly because life is a choice. So abi alai. So even if you get 10 children, not tell me say all of them are the same. They grow up for the same house with the same papa, the same mama. All of them go see the different. Abi alai. So the little percentage will go remain is that genetical something plus the education. The remaining one are your liberty, sha. God give you choice. What you want be? What you want become? Say, you know, say, even for pastor for family, you say you know now. Imagine for that your area pastor picking, all of them na saint, na lie you. Some of them na togi. See, even that time, maybe when they small, then be togi, they still grow up to become somebody. Some of them, then be very, very fine, nice speaking, they still grow up, turn their back to their family, do something else. You know, now. So life is a choice. So now, so I see I'm sure na decision. So anytime, if you don't grow small, if you decide whether you want go bad side, you want go correct side, now you go decide, sha. Different options go there.
So,
Abi alai.
so okay. I want to understand you well. You and Eminadum. You the talk say like parents get 50% responsibility for how children turn up when they become adults, or they not just get at all, because if the children grow up, now the children choice to be who they want be, forgetting whether they think about their roots or they don't think about their roots.
Yeah,
No,
papa,
you know,
your
say
mama and no dey inside now.
no,
Once you
I not
don't
talk
grow,
like
they
that.
just
I say if to say then they small, give them roots. You go just as Madam don't talk on before. Just tell them, say, I like things to be like this. We reason like this. You go there reason with them now. Say, I don't like make you go this way, no go this way. This thing not good for you, blah blah blah. You have to. You have to be a role model to them. It's true. But it go get one time where they can't start to they take their own decisions. When they start to get the wings to fly. So now that time you have to leave them go. You know, if you tell them again, say, you know, go do this thing, you know, go do. Person will don't grow finish. You don't teach them everything already. So, but what you go do with that thing where you teach them? Now in business, now in talk, now in choice.
Really
Now so I see them.
balance reach where it enter ground where you put on the roots, they ground where.
Exactly.
Root for the ground, then go come know whether it go to the adult stage.
Exactly. Then go remember. Then also remember. Say, my mama teach me that thing. Oh. My papa don't tell me that thing. Oh. My papa do this thing. My mama do
that
that
one now where
thing.
water don't pass Garina. You got to remember because water don't pass Garina.
You go still remember, but you go still go your own life because that God give you new soul. Abi? So you have to become somebody else. Oh. Find your way. Find your destiny. Find what thing will make you happy. Now, so me, I think, oh, you get my point.
I get you. I get you really, really clear. Okay, now our bros, bam.
The root, oh.
As in say, the roots not really matter. Now, waiting you they talk.
Or the
Me.
talk say, if
No,
your papa
Him.
say, may you do this thing.
Bros.
If your mama or papa say, may you do this thing, where you small, they do and they come. They respect them. They come. Nursery school, primary school, secondary school, you don't they come up for shame. Normally, you know now. You understand? No be everybody or some. Maybe when you call it at school. Now what for you?
So now, who can they responsible for how we turn out as adults?
We go blame technology now.
Ah.
Yes, now we go blame science and technology. Now where we say we don't come out, we don't see things. Everybody want learn, you know, understand?
Wow.
Everybody want do things. Everybody want use the head. Create your own personal way forward. Especially our country where we say get the way we take day, you know, understand? Now if no you go at least some of them get hope, say at all.
Now be which
But when they use our head, they create one or two. You know, understand?
I get you.
Now brain everybody get. Everybody
So if you
get
begin to
one
listen to
brain,
your papa and your
one brain.
mama,
Not the Oyibo and black. Brain,
you know, go
now
do
your
some
brain.
kind of thing we're supposed to do now.
Not the
So,
Oyibo
I
black.
mean, so what you they talk? I don't really get you. What were you saying?
I'm saying that if
now you both so now say now brain everybody get. Everybody God not give brain different brain to Oyibo, different brain to black, different brain to this. Everybody get brain. Now your brain now it's in your mentality don't carry you go school. And you don't already submit yourself to peer pressure because not be everybody peer pressure pressurized to do wrong things. You get. So now you don't get damaged. When your papa and your mama, you're the person like you know, when your papa and your mama they talk for that small picking and make I reach adult. If I reach 18 years then I beg my mama, my papa, I beg now they won't say I do. I go live life. All the life and not let me live, I go live on now.
no, we need to talk about doing bad things now. Good, we need to talk about when you don't grow now. You don't know what's up.
And now we they talk so
If your family they tell you say Alpha, no go out no follow this kind of person, you know. You know, say you get some kind of person where you go follow, you go show you the road. You know, you go teach you what you know.
Yeah.
What go help you. But if your parents going to make you to avoid those people, or your day house, carry your book every time, so day house, you
But
don't know as they go, as in.
But they talk say waiting and elder see when sitting down. Even you are small picking, even if you like climb the tallest ladder, you know go yeah.
My sister, 21st century, we they see her. If you see, if they sleep, say we
I
they see her.
know I know
For this 21st century, we don't need to climb anywhere. We go sit down and see her. Now what for you?
You mean
Yes, now. As you sit down like this, go see her. No, now before, now not be now.
so
Now we now they tell our parents as
now
they
waiting
go.
can't change from before and now.
You know, say now we they tell them as they go. No, be then they tell us as they go. Now we now they tell them as they go, and they believe.
Wow.
Now make all this our government they use our head now because they believe say we don't know as they go. But they don't know say that city where them if they come out for there, if small people enter there, everywhere go good now. You don't understand.
I see.
Yes, now so we don't learn.
Let me make sure you can bring her in.
And you know say we know there for house to learn and but they come out. They learn.
If you come out me,
You
good
know
night, my brothers and sisters. You still won't keep me.
Never go get question for you. Never
All
go.
right.
Never
I
go.
see you.
I get question. I just add this guy. Okay, continue, bros.
You understand what I talk, bro?
Yeah.
So you know, pass like that. Say you go listen to your parents. You go watch some kind of thing where they do. You know, no everybody know. You know what's bad now. If you bring food now, you know where they put. You know they put them for nose. They put them for your mouth now. You understand? So you know what's good. You know what you don't need your parents to come. They still they carry you along. From where we say you don't become adult now. You don't understand?
Yeah.
You don't already know say this thing no good and this thing good. You
Which
understand?
pastor?
Yeah.
And you don't already know say you get what you go do. You go
You wanna
carry go sell. You go carry go where you know supposed to. So you go avoid them. You don't understand?
Yeah, I understand you.
So you know you train yourself. Most especially people who say they don't lost their parents. After now, who go on they do all this.
Jeez, absurd.
You know, she say now then they run them by themselves now. No parents no day again. You know. So this is why you need to mix up.
Okay.
Nobody feed do one.
Okay.
All by himself.
All right.
You understand?
Before I ask a question, Henry, please try to add me because I'm trying to add you, but showing you unable to join. I don't know why. So Henry, add me so we can talk him. So Miss Toke, you talk say you get 3 children, right?
Yes, so
All your children know they're the same. You train them in your own particular way where we say you train them, right?
well, see the environment go be the same thing. I go tell them the same thing. Say get many times we they do family meeting too. Say if we eat together, we talk about life, we talk about things. You get my point. So, but all of them they behave different. All
Wow.
of them.
Okay.
Shey, now only 3 I get to. Say imagine say you get 10. If you get 10, all of them different too. Abi I lie.
Some are not last say now. Some are not last say normally.
English.
All of them no go be pastor. Some go be pastor. Some are not say.
That be the thing.
Some gonna say what? You thousand.
Mr. Sam, you get
me, ba?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Mr. Okay, you think give us example of maybe let's say something where we say your picking do where we say you see and you be like, nah, you did not learn this from me.
Say, for example, say that smoking issue. I don't tell all my children. My papa was smoking cigar, but he was having a very, very difficult life. So now that cigar, no be anything, na only cigar. But when I was small, I say, me, I no go start them, never ever. And my papa also tell us, say, make we not start them at all. So my sister and me, we never smoke. So my pikin don't start to smoke. You get my point. Now only cigar, but the thing really pay me. I no go lie for you. So
Wow.
I don't know how many times I talk and say, please make una not start them, say na help, blah 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 blah, this and that. But this guy now for him working place, he's 20. He's a big boy now.
Yeah.
So from a working place, if stress he go they smoke cigar, he go they see him for other people where they smoke. You get my point. That is only one example. My other ones they no smoke.
Okay.
So with the see in the end of the day, you just have to be happy if to say then they healthy. If they find their ways, say then their work. He's doing a very good job. He's a nurse, at least. Make I also appreciate the good things he's doing. You get my point. So make you not just always focus on things where they not do the way you want them. You get my point.
For my own
Yes,
people,
for
my own people, if you like, make you get 20 million. Consign them. Once they see smoke for your hand, you know go believe what you go use your eyes see. You understand?
I get you.
That's
I
my
get
people
you.
for you. If your people no like smoke, like my people, they no like say some of them no like make their picking they smoke cigar or you go. If you like, make you get heaven and earth. So if you can't get all these things, come mistakenly like smoke.
Sorry, my brother. I get your point. Sorry,
front, light cigar.
but they stop some people for Nigeria to smoke. Even if to say you beat them from morning till evening, some people they still go smoke secretly now. I be one time you say nobody for Nigeria they smoke.
No,
that's what you want tell me.
Talk. That's what they talk. Like
I get
here,
you. Say the difference of education.
Like,
I get you.
What I'm saying is that Oyibo children, they go light cigar in the front of their parents. They don't send anybody.
Me, I don't like that one, Sha. Me, I no agree for that one. So not generalize. Not generalize. I get many friends who no go tolerate that one too. Not be say I go beat. I no go tolerate am. Me, I no want see my pikin smoke. He pay me. I go tell am say he pay me. No smoke for where me I dey. So my children not dey. My pikin not dey smoke for my presence. Why not ask him? Why not ask him why he do am? Say, but this one is not. It's not about smoking today. I just bring this one as an example.
I understand.
You understand me? So for me, I believe say even if to say you can't beat them, do this, do that. Somebody will want smoke, he go see smoke. But if me I no see him, say we got one proverb where say anything where I no see, no go hit me up. Now so we dey talk for our own side. So if I no see him, what I want do? Even for Nigeria, so many young people with they smoke. but maybe no, then go on come out. They no go smoke in presence of their parents. Even my pikin, you know, go try them now. I don't like them.
But I
No
don't see
like
small
them, pay
pikin.
me.
Small pikin where we say he and the papa, they smoke, they give him papa, and papa they smoke, they give him back.
It's possible, Sha,
But
but
abroad, yeah.
that will not be my own. No.
You
You understand me? That's why I tell you, say people different.
Yes.
Not be everybody get the same opinion. Sure get. Sure, but all this is also part of my own roots, but it's also part of my own philosophy. That's why I tell you, say, you have to form your own family, because you know if you just do everything the way your great grandparents did. Otherwise, you know, say this place will not be a global place. So people not go mix up, travel, this and that. Everybody go stay for a village. Sure get. So I believe say things are changing. So that's why you have to also try find out within your own
But the way you take
understanding
the
of
talk, self, they shock
family.
me.
He
They
shock
give me
you.
vibe. I don't understand.
He shock you.
Come to like say, I
Mba.
follow my Nigeria get it. How far? Let's see how.
Kedu afa gị? Wetin be your name?
Oh God. Okudili.
Okudili Chukwu.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So
Ekene Dili Chukwu.
Miss Tokem, what do you now you go
Yes.
say as in somebody talk for the comment section saying as like 70%, like our parents have 70% responsibility for how we turn out as adults. Now let's make we
Lie.
you know they're possible.
Lie.
You know reach 70.
How na when you don't do secondary school, that they follow you, they go school.
The secondary school, you stay their house, Abi.
Yes, now you did the house now. They try them best now, but you now you don't come up for change. You don't they see things now. You don't they see things. You don't they mix with people who say they get sense past you.
Wow.
You won't learn. You know, from learning good, you at the same time you're learning bad. You don't understand? Yes, now.
Sorry,
But if
make
you
I
reach
tell you.
house, you go maintain. You go maintain. You know,
Sorry.
good boy. But if you
Be
come
cool.
out, now you go carry misbehave now. No to talk to me going to school now far. You know possible. No, see they go try them best. They go try them best. You understand? Some self go chase you come up for house. You know understand? Say because you don't carry misbehave, your behavior don't they change. They will chase you come up for house. Some go still, you know, but we don't enter secondary school. SS1, even jail now. Some people self don't come up for change then. You know,
So me, I still believe in a age matter too. You get my point. The smaller the pikin, the more you go they follow the parents' teaching. But the more you grow, the more you go they look outside now.
even
You
some
go
of
get friends
our
left and right.
pastor will be saying their children they study self. You get some kind thing where we say that they do. Yes, now, but they go humble themselves. They not go let their papa know because they don't meet another different people. You don't understand? Nobody is perfect. And them children, you know, say that they go school for abroad and Nigeria. You know, if you tell me say all the people waiting for class, all of them, all of the papa na pastor. You they mix now. As you they mix with them, you get friends now. Una they talk, una they learn. Now phone now everybody now they Instagram.
But if person come from a background where we say they're very strict and he knows that if he do anything where if he fuck up, in papa or in mama go no. Yeah. So you go talk say that kind of one, the parents they're responsible for how that person they take grow up.
Which kind of family? Na pastoral family, I be just
No,
normal
you
family.
need to be religious family. If you just be strict family.
Because if na family will say papa na pastor, mama na they have all the rights to make sure. They have rights to make sure, to retain that good name. They don't come here say your picking they carry misbehave outside.
Yeah, it's about not be a pastor, right? Like somebody writing, not be about profession, but background and character and also culture. Now, for this family now, then they're very strict. They uphold their background and culture very tight. So now, if you go,
I give you one check.
Okay.
I give you one check.
Okay.
Fire boy, papa tell him may no do music. But today, Papa they play music, relax. You don't buy house.
Passion.
You don't understand? Papa say no do music. There plenty like that. No do music. Today, how far?
Okay, but that one, that passion where you get. No be say.
You don't understand?
Yeah, I understand.
Now the same thing they talk now. Than the background, you know, say now, like example, now the video Papa get money, the background, you get what you go do, you go draw your Papa name, you know. You know, green now, you draw your Papa name, come out, anything happen. He enter for them, you know, see how far what that happen today. They try, they make your own money. You know, understand?
I hear you.
So if you want to disobey your parents, try, make it succeed. Try, make it succeed. You need to succeed, though.
Repeat that statement again. Repeat them.
If you want to disobey your parents, you need to succeed. Try make it succeed so that you will disappoint them.
Wow.
If they look and say, you don't disappoint us.
But you know, say, but you know, do this thing. You know, if you compare profession to bad character, you know, if you compare profession to bad character. Now, why I talk this one, be saying, what's be name again? Fireboy say na music in one do that one in profession. No be say in one Congo they waka naked, they do the music, or in one they smoke it go for road, they do the music. No. Or in one go they steal, they do the music. No. But in that one I'm passionate, waiting in one do. Now let's
but now in parents where they train them, we be say they in there under them, and then train them for school. You lead English for school, come out. They say my pikin. As you don't lead English, come out. You need to focus. You need to as in follow what you read for school.
Okay.
Why you no obey them? Why you can't tell them say no? He won't go Lagos. How far wait till that happen today? You don't enter. If Papa never calm down.
Okay.
Why you no calm down? See, our country no be where they tell you say do this thing, do that one. Now you supposed to know. No be say your parents go to tell you like say they keep one company for you there. We say now you go the manager. How far? You don't understand?
I get you.
If you want to respect them, you go no say yeah, maybe you don't go there. You go to manage one empire like that. You go no say yes. My papa say make I no follow bad boy, yo. Make I no do this one, no. Make I just they do waiting in talk. At the end, this empire na my own.
But
now, this empire,
you know, say that will be training. No, hope say you understand that one. Say that one no be character training. This now something say they carry them go school. No be say they go no be character training. This one na school because now their obligation to take them go school. We talk about character. Waiting Peking go turn out to be at the end of the day. Peking turn out to be thief.
You know, so these people will turn out to be thief. You know, go to blame them small.
Okay, who we blame?
Now condition make them turn out to be thief. Before they turn out to be thieves, so maybe they do 1 or 2 for house.
Wow.
And Papa go keep 20 naira, he go remove and come out.
Ewo.
Now that time they're supposed to use prayer, use everything to hold on. But if they don't feel hold on, you understand? I go say, okay, school you know go, they don't gather them, you know, find money, put for his head, you know, create something for them. Maybe they do. Or maybe that one don't lost it, Papa, you don't lost it, mama. Only in one day, you know, understand?
Okay.
And then again, all this are the kind of friends where you say they mingle with. You know, understand?
All right.
You know, understand?
Okay. I hear you.
So now him,
okay.
you understand? So now him be the main thing. People will say they mingle with. And your papa, your mama, if they tell you to do this thing, waiting be their plan for you. Because for our country, you know, saying about the grace of God. Not by the grace of God. You know, understand?
I understand.
So look, your papa, you know, get CC. Your mama, you know, get CC. Only you want to come, they tell you, say, my pikin, do this thing.
Brainwashing.
You understand? You need to know where they go after you do that thing finish. School good now. If they say, okay, go school, of course, they go school. If you don't finish school now, after, you go drop the certificate now, after, mama, I don't finish now. Waiting be the way forward now. Only then go talk, say, okay, my pikin, find work. You go use the paper now, go find work. Now come back house and no see work. After you go see they listen to them, they go say, okay, my pikin, you know see work. I won't be now. Because you need to take care of them now. You don't go school finish, come out now. After.
Mr. Okay, what you want to waiting?
You understand?
Sure, I still get something to talk about this
But now,
music
after you
music
don't school
issue.
finish now,
Mm-hmm.
friends wey be say you meet for school.
Mm-hmm.
If you meet person wey papa get money, wey go help you, you go get way forward. If you still mix up with some kind of people wey be say go use technology get your way forward, you know, understand? If you still get luck, you know, based on what you read for school, you know, you go get work.
Okay.
But at the end of the day,
You don't change position.
at the end of the day, our papa and our mama, they go try them best. They go just try, but they no go fit do them all, because if we begin to listen to them, many people no go far, like make it in life, like choose their own of what they want to do.
Okay.
You know,
Like we give Miss Tucker space to talk, chance to talk.
I still won't go back to that musician issue, because I think it's very interesting. Because if you look on well, you get, you know, say in the olden days, if to say you want to do music for many families, you won't be like say you smoke Igbo. You get my point? They don't want make you go there, Sha, because it has a very bad reputation to become a musician. Like everybody you know Angelique Kidjo. You know I'm now? The musician from that lady from Benin Republic. I don't see her live for Visa. What did she talk for stage? It don't touch me. She say, for my country, that time when I want to make music, I want to become a musician. My parents tell me, say, lie, you know, go do am. Say, you won't do like all this, Ashawo, I'm sorry for the word, Sha, but you know, say, the reputation of music at that time for a woman, they no go gree say make she enter the whole thing. She say na my husband, the husband come be Frenchman that time. Now my husband come bring me out of the family, put me inside music, the thing where I get passion for, and up till now, you know, say that lady is very famous. Everybody know am. Everybody, the whole Europe, the whole Yankee, the whole Africa, everybody know am. And to say she can't stay for that village for the she follow within the parents tell she not go be who she be today. Marvin Gaye, that soul singer for Yankee, in Papa na pastor, he say if you continue to sing, I go shoot you. He shoot them now. The man died because of music. So that thing, you get my point. That's why I'm saying, not be everything our own generation believe say is good or not good. Not be everything is really good or bad. So at some point in time, you have to let them go, give them the wings, make them find their own destiny. Sure, get. Say what it really pain me at times. If you see some African parents, they're so much overprotective in some ways that they don't want happiness for their pikin. You understand me? You don't know, say next generation, maybe they need more internet technology, more this and that. Sure, get. Say no, you know, go enter that thing now, witchcraft, blah blah blah. You get my point. If to say you want to stay like this forever, and I'm not talking about Africans, I'm talking about generally about education of children, begin education. You get my point. See, you have to get to some point where you just have to let them go. Say, and you also have to trust God. Do say now God go take care of this you picking. You get my point. Give them all the rules, give them all the security, give them a lot of love to not be only king. Sure get. That's what I see, I'm sure. Because you don't know who you picking will be tomorrow. I don't talk.
Okay. Wait, I have to bring in someone.
Melody,
Huh?
you know, say celebrity don't believe for Nigeria.
Celebrities don't they live for Nigeria?
As in, celebrity don't believe for Nigeria.
Okay.
You know about? Huh?
Yes.
You know, so many of them go school.
Yeah, hello.
Hello.
I agree to now.
You know, so many of them
I
go
was
school.
enjoying this topic, yeah.
Remy.
How far now?
You don't understand me.
Agbado Bona.
What's up now? How you doing?
Dada ni atukpe o.
So let me talk about myself. Yeah.
Okay.
Honestly, when I was growing up as a child, yeah, I thought I was gonna play football because I love football. And now that I've grown, I wish I had my parents' support. Maybe I would have been a professional footballer now. They'd be like, oh, you have to go to school, you have to do this, you have to do that. Now, I'm still feeling bad because they didn't allow me. I didn't get that support.
You get sense. You
I'm still feeling bad. But on the other hand, I think that generation, yeah, their mentality is you can't be a musician, you can't play football.
They go want make you do this thing.
You understand? Doctor
Oh.
or a lawyer or something, you understand? But now I think this generation now we've learned. Like me, if I start with my children now, you understand? I wouldn't do that because I would learn from my own experience. You understand? So this is it. I think sometimes they influence what we turn out to be as an adult.
So you are saying that parents influence or they're responsible for how we turn out as adults?
No, they're not responsible. At least they do influence sometimes in some cases. Not all
how
cases.
they think you get sense, my guy.
They are not responsible. Don't get me wrong. And sometimes we now we get to that level where we start having our own family and all our own children and all that stuff. Now you look back at it and be like, okay, you want to send your children abroad to study, to do this, to do that, but you can't afford it. Sometimes it's not even your fault. You can only do what you can afford. So now we can see it now. Just do your best and leave the rest. And people say it takes a whole community to raise a child.
Yes, so
this is another thing. Sometimes it's not only even you. Okay, my mom has 4 boys, yeah. Sometimes if we misbehave, she used to get one big man to come and flog us. Because she thinks, this is it. She thinks we're too big for her. She cannot handle us. She brings big man because we're 4 boys, and we always causing trouble in the environment. And she's going to call this man, one neighbor. That man will tie us down and beat us seriously. That's why I said it takes the whole community to raise a child. It's not just your parents.
Oh, Tony.
But they have, whichever way, they have a little bit of influence on your life.
This my guy don't talk and finish.
So, but the thing is, if you have a child, if you see that this child has interest in a particular thing, you need to support the child.
Yeah.
So if parents don't support the child, what impact does that not supporting the child, what impact does that have on the child?
It will, because these are your parents. These are the people that need to give you courage. These are the people that need to motivate you to do what you want to do. They need to encourage you. This is what you don't want to be getting it from outside. You understand? You don't want to end up on the street and then the people outside helping you out when you have your parents to guide you. You understand?
Yeah.
This is it.
You see,
our parents that time, why are you playing football? There's no life out of football. There's this, there's that. You know, it's so crazy. You know, I played football. I played football so much when I was younger that I even forgot to read. You know, I was messing up in my studies and all of that. I wish I played that football because I love it. In fact, they used to come and take me from my mom. It's like, okay, they want to take me for like 2-3 days if she doesn't mind, and I'll go. Honestly. So you see, I had that interest. I still wish I played football. Sorry guys, I'm just getting on the train.
Some parents like that too. Some parents like that, they go tell you, say, if you go school, no, don't they come back alone. No make any sense. If school close, just they come house only you want. They don't go feed you alone. They go tell you to make they come house alone. Make you no get friends.
Yeah, if you get to a time you will have your own.
You don't understand?
You will have your own mind. So
your boy go tell you say, go school, come back alone. Only you want. They don't want to see you say they discuss with any friend for road. Just come back.
Exactly. And I don't think you need to don't be too strict.
with
Just, I think a piece of advice can go a long way.
Okay, now
Rather than
you're mixing talent and profession with character. We're talking about character here, not basically just talent and profession. Now, if you turn out bad, you turn out good.
okay, I think it all works together in that sense. Sometimes let's talk about character now. Your character now, it depends on where you grow up. That's another problem. Okay, your parents. Okay, let's say you grew up in a ghetto. They're not gonna lock you up inside the house 24/7. You're gonna mingle. You're gonna have friends. Okay, so now 80% of your friends are gonna be from your neighborhood, first of all.
Okay.
So that way they can influence you too. You understand? So that way you can get influenced. But I still think parents, that they are not 100% responsible, but they are partly responsible.
So what completes the other percentage? What completes the other percentage?
Is left to the child.
For
What
people,
completes the other percentage is left to the child.
It's your willpower.
Yeah, it's now left to the child.
If it comes to character,
it's left to the child to decide if he wants to be a good boy or a bad boy. You understand?
make I tap in small.
The parents have played their own part. Their own part. So African parents play many of us with their
for character.
home training. Yeah, exactly. It's just like, let me talk about, I have a friend here, the father is very rich. This man said he will not give any of his kids any of his money because he worked so hard for his money.
They need to call that man.
What would you say to that one?
See what they go say to that person.
I think the network is
They need to call him one of these days and tell him that your son or your daughter is involved in armed robbery. You understand? They need to call this same man from any part of the world and tell him that you brought up your children to be an armed robber.
You be thief, I no be thief. You be robber, I no be robber.
Your children, you cannot give them money, but you have the money. You understand?
Someone said,
Nikki, don't come out.
You brought them up to be an armed robber. You're supposed to give them money.
Me, I no agree for that one. Shall make them learn how to walk too now. Make come be like, see, you go just dash them everything. Now that time they go spoil too much.
You can still borrow him now to invest.
Now you dream be that. Okay.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Calling from.
I can't disclose that, but my name is Uncle Shegun.
Uncle. Bawoni.
Yeah.
I took me.
Good.
I know you that one.
Anyway, so are parents responsible for how you turn out? To a degree, yes. As adults, yes. I don't know, a lot of people are young at the moment. I think a lot of people watching might be young. But you get to an age where you realize that you've become your parents. Even down to mannerisms. So we've got to understand that there's passive and active learning in parenting. In other words, there are things that your parents do. They don't tell you to live that way, but that's what you see. And it's logged in your subconscious. And at some point, it becomes your way of life. And that's apart from the actual active training that they give you. So in terms of your character, there's certain things that you'll take from your parents. So for instance, my father was very sociable. So in my younger years, you couldn't keep me at home. But my mother was very quiet and always stayed at home. And now that I'm older, I'm just like my mother. I'm 2 minutes away from being reclusive. And then, of course, your experiences within the family and how you're raised and what's going on in your home between your parents has an impact on how you do turn out.
I have one question.
Okay.
Yes.
My question is, how about people that insult people? People that, I'm coming.
Yeah.
People that they have this special bad mouth. They are very good in insulting people.
Okay. Now,
Are we going to say that they learn it from their parents? We're talking
okay.
about the bad character now.
Okay. There's something called invisible transference. This is where now a lot of people don't know. You know your parents from the age you know them, but you didn't know them younger when they were younger. So, for instance, let me give you an example. I went into secondary school in 1976. By 1978, I was 78, 79. I was very wild. I was fighting, and I had a nickname called Jack the Ripper because I would fight with bottles and knives and cut people.
Oh, go.
Now, my father, I didn't see any of that in my father. My father was born in 1914. I didn't see any of that in my parents. But when I was talking to my father in 2004, when my father was probably in his 80s or 90s, he was telling me how when he was a young person, a teenager, he used to fight people and cut them with cutlasses. I never saw my father do that, but I carried on that behavior. Where did I get it from? Nowhere. I didn't see it. That's why I called. Yes.
Sorry, sir. I want to ask you a question.
Yes.
Because, you just remind me of one study. See, there are studies about twins. So some of them, they don't separate them. They grow up, this one grow up there, this one grow up there. And they can't find out, say, two of them just get the same interest, although they not grow up for the same family in adoption issue. And they can't find out, say, they get so many similarities.
Let me tell you what
for
those
me, I
similarities
believe,
are.
say, lot of things are genetical also.
Yes.
You get my point?
Yes. I did a study on that when I was in university because I studied psychology. Those twins were separated at birth, and I think they met when they were either 57 or 67. Now, they had never met each other before that time. They were separated at birth. They both had the exact same career. They both had married a woman called Mary. They both had a son and a daughter, and their names were exactly the same on both sides. They
This
both
is so crazy.
They were both volunteers for the fire department. They both belonged to the same clubs in different cities. They both had a dog called Jack. And they both had a tree in their garden with a white bench under it. And they'd never met each other before.
Now I talk, so that must be something genetically too. Say they still don't know how much be the percentage of the genetical inheritage, the educational training you get from your parents, and what you learn from outside.
Well, look at it this way. When you're a sperm in your father, you are everything that your father is in that sperm. And that's what's transferred to your mother. And then, so what then happens is you grow, you develop, and you don't even know that you're passively learning certain things. It's only when you get older, you leave home, that you realize that you've picked certain things from your parents. Or, if you've had some very bad experiences in the home, you might take a different decision. For instance, you see a man who beats his wife and a child grows up in that environment. Two children grow up in that environment. One will determine that I will never beat my wife. And the other will resort to beating his wife as a means of solving problems. So, because although we're similar, we're different. And then, of course, as you get older, you have to retrain yourself. You look at the things that are not so good about you, and you work on those things. So our parents are responsible for how we turn out to a very great degree. And the older you get, you'll be amazed how much like your parents you'll become in your later years. You'll talk like them. You'll sound like them. It will be very scary, especially if you've been trying to not be like them.
Yeah.
Oh,
I find it out. So yes, parents are responsible. It's about the nature and nurture. What you experience in the home, and that's why in marriage it's very important who you marry and what kind of marriage you have, because it's going to impact on the children that you raise. They're going to be shaped positively or negatively by the experiences of the home. And let me go as far as saying this. especially for people who are going to marry. For a girl, the first marriage you will ever know will be that of your parents.
Mm-hmm.
And the first husband you'll ever have as a girl child will be your father. Same for a boy. The first marriage will be your parents, and the first wife you will ever have will be your mother. That's why a lot of people choose women like their mothers, and girls choose men like their fathers.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, if you're not even a good father, because that's the only pattern they know, and that's the most important pattern that they know as far as marriage is concerned, they choose exactly who their fathers and mothers were, healthy or not. So yes, parents I'm not going to say responsible, but I think they have a role to play in how we turn out as adults. Yes.
Okay. So I'm Mr. What's your name? I'm sorry, I have
Uncle Shegun.
Uncle Shegun.
Uncle
Yeah,
Shegun.
Shegun. Thank you very much, Uncle Shegun.
Shegelu.
Yeah, I'm sure that you have kids, right?
Yes, I have. Yes, grown-ups. Yes.
Very good. And there must have been attributes or characters they've shown you that you'd be like, no, you didn't get this from me. Where did you get this from? Have you ever experienced that or seen that before?
Okay, so my children are 31 and 32. Yeah.
Okay.
And I remember I smoked weed in secondary school.
Okay.
But my eldest child smoked weed in university.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
She smoked weed when she was in university.
Ew.
In terms of character, I look at my younger daughter, and in so many ways, she's very much like me. So I haven't, and anything that's not like me is probably from their mother.
I see.
Do you understand?
Okay.
But I can see I can see similarities in my children, between myself and my children. And I guess also because I'm a very continuous influence in their lives. I still have a very good relationship with them, and I'm still involved with them. I've got one who's married now, but I'm still very much involved in their lives, not in a nosy, intrusive way, but we have a very good relationship.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah. So someone is asking on the comment section that how can an orphan grow without a parent or a guardian?
Well, an orphan will grow up with somebody of some description, whether in a home or if you go and grow up with relatives. But even if you grow up with relatives, you're still going to show traits and characteristics of your parents, of your birth
so many
parents.
grow up in the streets.
Of course, yeah, grow up with some elders. Yeah, how many can grow without a parent?
When you mean streets, what do you mean, Okudili? When you say streets, what do you mean?
So many grow up on the streets.
Like streets under the bridge?
No dad, no mom, no responsible person to train them.
Like under the bridge?
They've been the one to train themselves.
Wow.
As in, maybe since the day the parents dropped them, like maybe 1 year, someone picked them, they don't know anybody. Since the day they know this is A and B, they don't know anybody. They cannot say this person now brought me to this age.
Yeah.
They began from there.
Yeah.
And they are old.
So how can we, with those people, we can't say their parents are responsible for how they turn out as adults. Yeah, right?
Well, you can say, well, if let's say the situation is a young girl who gets pregnant, comes from a poor family, can't afford a baby, the guy buggers off, and the girl has to go and put the baby on the roadside somewhere. Those two people are responsible for the existence of that child. And in a sense, whatever happens with that child is down to the actions of those two people, funded at the very, very, very core. Now, there'll be things along the way that impact on their lives, but the beginning of their journey started with their parents and the actions their parents took, whether to keep the baby or to abandon the baby. So their parents have a part to play in how they've turned out. Legacy Chance, I see you.
But some of those parents, something happened that make them to, maybe they are dead along the line.
Well, so if you have parents who say they for sake of argument they die in a car crash, and then you're raised by other people or raised by nobody's raised by nobody. Everybody's raised in some way, shape, or form by somebody. Because we're influenced by people. But even with those children, there'll be things about them that are that are reflective of their. They'll be carrying some things of their parents in their character, in their DNA. That's unshakable, regardless of the environment and regardless of who raised them or what their circumstances were.
So, Mr. Shago, someone is asking you that, is it possible to have grandparents' genetics?
Grandparents' genes?
Yeah.
Yes, I have my grandfather's head.
Oh.
Yes.
But let's say character-wise.
I have the okay, so my great-grandfather was very, very kind. Not my grandfather, my great-grandfather. And in that department, I take after him. And my father would always tell me that. I never met my great-grandfather, obviously. But there are certain things about him that I've taken on. That and when I heard stories about him, I can see how we're similar. In fact, very similar.
Okay.
Yeah. And with my grandfather, in terms of behavior, yeah, my grandfather's a very very peaceable man, very quiet, calm, you know, and I'm pretty much like that. You know, so you know what I found invariably, when you think of your parents and grandparents and everything, though they're separate entities, we're all one person. Because, you know, when I look at my siblings, I see some things from my mother, I see some things from my father, I see some things from my grandparents in them. And then like me, I've got some attributes of my great-grandfather, you know. So invariably, because we come from the same seed and we're still one person, we're still, it's almost like one person fragmented into different people. And we're all kind of a little bit of that person.
Okay.
And that's why I'm not going to be like Toka's grandfather, but I'll be like my grandfather. Yes, sir.
I think I want objection. No, yes, let our Igbo brother talk first.
No, ladies first. He is.
Oh yeah, ladies.
All right. You know, say you get some families for here. You get some stories. If you look they like to watch all these criminal series where then they find out who kill who and how they find out why the person do that thing, blah blah blah. So you get some families, you know, say out of nothing, you get somebody from the family where don't turn to serial killer or something like that, and you not go find any violence inside the timeline of the family. So yes, for me, I also believe say all the hormonal conditions inside your body, you know, say it go get effect. All those small things will know if you see if they change person brain too. So but all those things are very deep studies. It's difficult to find out at times.
But sometimes with serial killers, it might just be an experience that they had that made them choose that pathway.
At times, yes.
At times. So because there's the nature and there's the nurture. You know, there are things we get from our parents and there are things we get from our environments that influences us. You know. Yeah. You know, so you hear people say, I grew up listening to dancehall music, and from there I always wanted to be a dancehall artist or hip hop. They just listened to music when they were very young and they decided, yeah, this is what I want to do. Oh, I was watching a stand-up comedian one day and I decided I want to be a stand-up comedian. So that's just the environment that's shaping them.
Maybe,
so
yes.
Environment can also shape your behavior. You know, you have a bad experience with some girl and then you may make a decision. I'm going to be nasty to all girls because I love this girl and she was nasty to me. Nothing to do with your parents. It's just your experience that's affected you to the point where you make a negative decision.
Okay.
I have one question.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Sir, please, which country are you from? Are you from Nigeria?
Yes, I'm Nigerian.
Okay. The question that I want to ask is that this mess that our country is today.
Yes.
Do we blame our grandfather or not?
Oh, this one a deep question.
It's complex, but it's something that we don't want to. One of the things I realize in talking about Nigeria's situation is that one of the things we don't want to accept is the true position of things. The true position of things is that from the day the white man came, we've had a problem. And we need to understand that one of the problems we have is not just our leaders, but behind the scenes, the West is pulling the strings of Nigeria.
Because
that's what's going on.
I asked you.
So
you know why I asked you, sir?
It's not just, we're not self-governing. We need to understand.
You know why I asked you, sir? Because this regime refused to remain in that mess. This our regime now. We refuse already to remain in that mess.
When you say, how do you mean?
This 21st century now.
Yes.
We don't want again all this bad government and continue, sleeping,
Yeah, but for you to get, there's a reason why we have bad government.
You know why I'm telling you is because if our forefathers they stopped this mess, it shouldn't have get to us. Because they happen for Igbo country. But because say them they could not stop it, they allow one set of people to continue and continue and continue. You understand? So they could not stop it. And now, this regime now said enough is enough. Because everybody is tired. Because if we don't talk, even our own children will grow. So are you telling me now that our parents now that they learn it from who? And they want us to learn it from them. By being silent and allowing things go wrong and wrong. Because now we are learning from them now. Because this is the character.
Government is different.
We are the children.
Government is slightly different from the rest of society because the rest of society is not in power.
The government the government is our forefathers now. They're not the old men and women then. They were the one that the politicians do for the politicians, the lawyers and everything.
I agree, but one of the things we have to accept is that Nigeria is not an independent country, and we are not actually self-governing. We just have people like us in positions of authority and power, but we are not self-governing. We don't have independence in the way that we think. What we have is an agreement with our colonial masters, and whatever they're extracting, however they're controlling, whatever they're benefiting from us, and that they were benefiting before they left, is what they're still benefiting till now. So we're not actually independent. We're not really in control of our policies, our politics, or our economics. And that's the truth of the matter. Now, of course, there is a problem with our people who don't do the right thing when they get to leadership. And obviously, yes, that affects us. Look, I remember when Fela used to antagonize the government. I was in secondary school when his house burned down. I remember how his son couldn't go to school and used to come and sit down in my school and hang out with friends for the whole day, because then they had the army in every school and all of this kind of nonsense. So we have been dealing with this problem for a very long time. But our biggest problem in Nigeria is not just our people. I mean, our people are a problem, don't get me wrong, but the fact that there is a power behind our people that's controlling our affairs, and we haven't managed to break free from that. And it's not in the interest of our oppressors to allow us have the kind of leadership that we can truly have that will take Nigeria to where it needs to be. That's why we have the kind of leaders we have. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes that we don't get to see. We're not self-governing, and that's at the root of our problem.
Okay, yeah, I want to ask Mr. Okodili, how does this question about politics and our forefathers relate to our parents' responsibility, how we turn our adult?
You said?
I think I know the answer to the question.
No,
what he's trying to say is that because of our poor leadership, it's affecting how we as a mass, as a people, are turning out. Is that what you're saying?
No, she's asking different question.
Okay.
Let me hear you well, Melody.
Yeah, my question here is the question you just asked about politics, legacy, our forefathers, like the corruption we're having now. Can we blame our forefathers? I'm asking you, how does it relate to if our parents are responsible how we turn out adults?
Our forefathers, are they not the parents of our parents, of our parents, of our parents today?
Okay.
The thing was just going from blood to blood, from this person to give birth to this person, grow up, give birth to this person, grow. And your picking could not even say, I was here when my daddy go to protest and they succeeded. This thing changed, so thing change. Nothing. No, only now. Me now, they witness the protest now. At the time of my dad, I didn't witness any. I'm not sure if he witnessed any protest, but I witnessed protest now. And I wish I could just give birth to a bouncing baby boy or girl now, so that she or he will come and witness and hear that so date something happened. We go out, we say the enough is enough, because I don't think they do such thing at their own time. Everybody was just minding his or her business, and things are continuing going wrong. And look at where we are today. If not that we are trying our best to make use of our head to create things, we will remain where we are, no going forward. Because our parents, they are old. So many of them don't have money to establish you. You have to go to school and establish yourself and establish them. They're training you to school to get a job and take care of them. Except your family have money that whether you get a job, you don't get a job, an empire is waiting for you.
Okay. Okay. Sorry to interrupt you. Mr. Shegun, you said something about genetics. Right? So I need to ask a question: that are you trying to say that 90% of our character, everything, also made environment? Yeah.
Could you say that again? I couldn't hear.
Yeah, you made mention of genetics.
Right.
Yeah. Now, I was asking, are you trying to say that 90% of our characters, things we do, are basically what we got from our parents, our forefathers, without us knowing?
Yeah. Obviously, it's just like resemblance. You're not going to look like the neighbor's grandfather. You're going to look like your father or your grandmother.
I'm making point.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
We go block this guy. We go block this guy now.
Don't look at the comment section.
Yeah. So yes, we will take. You were raised in your home. Your first influence will be your parents, and you came from their loins. You came from their womb. So yes, you will be a large part of you will be influenced by who they are or who they were.
Okay. Now let's take for example, someone grew up in a family where he comes from a strict family. And then strict family, and let's say probably generationally that family has a background of being strict. Now when it came to his own time, let's say he started stealing things like pickpocket and stuff. Can we say that is a genetic stuff, or he was being influenced from, I don't know?
No, not necessarily, unless you go into the family history and find out that at certain stages in the father's life or the grandfather's life, they used to pickpocket, or they used to steal. Do you know what I mean? Aside from that, sometimes it's just behavior. Sometimes also some people act out because if they feel too confined. Look,
condition.
Let me put it this way: if you were very, very strict in 1914. It wasn't seen as a bad thing because life was very simple. It was a extremely different time. In this modern time where you've got social media, you've got all kinds of influences, that type of strictness will be seen as bondage, will be seen as captivity, and a child will be more inclined to want to break free. Because we're in a very different time. So when I grew up in Lagos, for the years that I lived in Lagos, the values in my home were the values in my neighbor's house, were the values in my street, were the values in my school and the wider community. But when you're a Nigerian, say you're Nigerian living in America or living in any other Western country, your Nigerian values are only in your house.
Yeah.
Everything outside of them doesn't hold that value. And so it becomes a bit of a problem. So there's so many other influences. Now, a child may rebel a bit against being strict, too strict. For them, it's like, my parents are too strict. And if they have no outlet, they can, they can start stealing or being rude or being rebellious or just doing different things because they're responding to that environment, from their point of view is negative for them. So
There is something
what
that I noticed.
Okay.
There is something that I noticed.
Mr. Okodili,
These days, so many parents, like 75%, they allow the child to do what they want to do, which is right. Because so many now is using their own self to create something to make a living. Now make I tell you, say celebrity don't many.
Go back again to what you say. I want to
so
understand.
Many people, so many parents now, 75%, they are not the one to tell the children what to do now because they see that the person is doing the right thing and he's very creative and money is coming. You know, be like before again. It's not like before. That is why I told you that celebrity may need for Nigeria now. There's so many celebrities in Nigeria now. Everybody's creating something. You know, be like before where we say your parents, if they see phone for your hand, it's going to be a very big problem. You understand? But now, you will see that parents are the one, if they see that the child, is making something out of his brain and people is liking him or her, they will give her or she or him the support to carry on. Be like before again. This is the so say they don't open eye. They don't see say it's not all about don't make friends, do like this, do like that. They see that Nigeria is taking them. Nigeria took them nowhere. And now if they keep on, they equally see that Nigeria will took the children nowhere. So you need to allow your child to use his head and get his way forward. Especially those that are doing comedy, those people that are doing skills, understand. They're creating things. And thank God for social media, you understand? So many people are graduate, but no job. Now they're using their head to create something. And people are following them, like what you're doing now, followers.
Good evening, sir. I hear you.
You understand? And at the end of the day, you start making some little money. This is how it starts. This is how those people start. Don't be saying they don't go school. They go school. You understand? So now, our parents, they are changing, but they need to change. If it be like this before, we for no day where we day. If things are like this before, as in the way things are now, if it was like this before, we for don't go far now. I be bros are they like.
Well, I remember like when I was young, you couldn't become a stand-up comedian because the only person laughing at you would be you. You would starve. And in the 60s and 70s, there were so many companies in Nigeria, there were so many industries, so that there was opportunity for you to work if you came out of university. As time went on, with the way Nigeria went economically, all those companies left, and a lot of those industries dried up, and necessity being the mother of invention, people became creative. I couldn't tell my father I wanted to be a comedian when they'd slap nonsense out of me, a comedian. What joke are you telling? Go and get a serious profession in life. And I remember that, back in the day also, they were our parents understood that certain professions were guaranteed you a lifetime career. That's why they wanted you to be a lawyer, a doctor. You couldn't go and study dancing, performing dancing. Who's dancing? You can only go and dance for fella. How much is that going to, what kind of life would you fashion out of that? But now, obviously the pressures of the economy, pressures of life have caused people to become very, very creative. If those pressures were not there, it's just like churches. If Nigeria was in the place where it should be today, you won't have as many churches. It's only the suffering and the hardship that have given birth to a lot of pastors and prophets and apostles and all that sort of stuff. So yes, necessity being the mother of invention. People have done what they have to do. Now you can say to your parents, I want to be a comedian. And the reason why they'd accept it is because they now see that it's successful. People are making money out of it. You can be a whiz kid. You can be a Nollywood actress. You can be what's that guy's name? Burner Boy. They're
They
seeing the
don't have
returns.
choice.
No, it's because they're seeing the returns. They're seeing that it's profitable. Most parents want to make sure that if you're going to do something, it's profitable. If it's not profitable, they're not going to back it. In a few years' time, if things get worse, there'll be another thing that will come that people will be doing. I mean, if twerking, you couldn't be twerking for a living or doing lap dancing or pole dancing in Nigeria in the 70s. I would even go as far as saying this. When you look at Bob Risky, who does that whole woman thing that he does, he would have been dead in my time. If you came out looking like that in my time, they would kill you. No, I'm just being serious.
You will put tire for your body, have you?
Absolutely, they'll beat the crap out of you. We don't do that here. But he's making money out of it now, and other people will join the bandwagon. So it's just because of the constraints that we come under, the pressure in Nigeria, that people are now being creative and it's making them money. And now, it's very different from my time, when all the people I know, their parents sent them to school, their parents housed them, their parents bought clothes for them, their parents sent them on holiday to England for summer. So I didn't know anybody who had to sell their bodies to pay rent for their parents. Your parents housed you. They were responsible for your housing, your clothing, and they sent you abroad to do your A-levels. It's only now that you now see young people who have parents who are unemployed, and they're the ones who have to go out there and hustle to support the parents.
So, Mr. Shagun, someone was asked here that how can we ascertain whose behavior and whose behavior is well and whose behavior is bad? Because the behavior of the African man is totally different from the Western world behavior.
Well, that's a very serious problem, because sometimes we have this problem where I listen to a lot of Nigerians who trash everything African, and we believe that everything that the West is telling you is wonderful. Do you understand? And it's the best way, and that's not always altogether true. I think it's about it's not so much which one is best in terms of cultures, but I would say, what is wisdom? What is the wise thing to do? Because wisdom is not cultural. It's not culture specific. Wisdom is just wisdom. So in raising my children, it's like, what's the wisest thing to do? What's the wisest way to bring them up, given the fact that I'm not in Nigeria, and we live in Europe and all of this sort of stuff, and at least when they were younger, what's the best way to raise them? And the thing is, how do I want to raise them? What do I want? So I want people who are law-abiding, productive citizens who will do well for themselves and for their community.
Sure, I want to talk something.
Okay,
yes,
Mr. K.
Sure. I still believe we learn so much from each other. When you see the way I raise my children, I don't pick also so many things from the way Nigerian people raise their children. So you go and now I talked before, say you go form your own family. So they learn from different places. You see, say, this thing I like is family. Now so it's about learning, expanding. Learning from each other. And I ain't go creative wisdom we talked before, Uncle Shagun.
Yes, you're quite correct. You're quite correct. It's about learning. Like for instance, because I spent a bit of time in Nigeria, and I couldn't raise my children that exact way outside of Nigeria. It wouldn't work. But in Nigeria, it would work. But you see, there's some things you can set early in life with your children, very, very early, so that you're not going to have like some of these teenage problems that people had with their children acting crazy. I didn't have that, because I was very, very tough as a parent in their very, very early years. So by the time they got to those kind of ages, they just knew what was not going to fly. They knew how to behave. They knew how to carry themselves. You just what I mean? And I think that's what the problem is. Sometimes we're raising children when we're supposed to be raising adults. You know?
And someone asked, like, what is wisdom and what is the wisest way to bring them up? Do we have to look at the environment we are, and that's how we have to bring up our children, or we bring them up the way we want to?
Well, you know, first and foremost, I'm a Nigerian. So, and that's what I want my children to understand. They're Nigerians. So there is a Nigerian flavor in the way I've raised them. So that if they go to Nigeria, they're not going to be strangers in their own community or to their own people. So my children are not coconuts by any stretch of imagination. And I didn't allow room for that. You know, and I raised them with Nigerian values. God forbid something happens, they say to my children, go back to where you come from. They won't have a problem sliding into Nigeria.
That's true. That's true.
But if I raise them to be, in quotes, you know, look, I grew up in an all-white area. I went to an all-white school and all that kind of nonsense. And I could see the disadvantage of that. In terms of, you know, when you now start relating to your own people, you know. So I made sure that I raised my children as Nigerians. They're very, very strongly connected with Nigerian and the Nigerian and Ghanaian community. You know, and then it's all just common sense, you know. What kind of values do you want them to have? Like
Uncle
I said,
Shegun, I beg, I want to ask you a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Where you they live?
He said, you know what, talk about
no, where they live? I didn't live for Lagos. I did live for Lagos.
You did for Lagos, Nana.
I did live for Lagos. Eko nile now, Eko ni baje.
Which area for Eko? Eko
Ikeja.
Bigo. Okay, with the airport. Close to the airport.
Since 5 minutes late.
As you talk in all white school, I mean, which country before now?
No. That time, you know, na UK I did.
Okay, Britico.
Britico, no.
Because, you know, say not every country be the same also for Europe, as you know, be the same for Yonda too, for Africa. Different countries with different backgrounds too. Now you make me ask.
No, I started off my life in England, you know.
Okay.
And then I went to Nigeria. Did my secondary school in Nigeria. Then I did my A-levels in university in the UK.
But I want to tell you something just right now. I just remember, say, I visit Britico. I also visit Ireland. And, you know, say, I was very shocked about the way some people raise their children. So even if to say, you know, say, from my own place to Britico, 2 hours flight to.
Where you there?
I did for Switzerland.
Okay.
But even the distance not too big, Sha. You still get cultural differences.
Massive.
You speak it. Kedu?
Carry on, mama. They follow melody. They talk.
Yeah. What?
Kebinaga.
What are you
saying? Kedu afage?
No, mama. Carry on, mama.
Me, I don't understand.
No, I think say na me they talk Igbo too, Sha.
I think say you dey Russia, yeah.
No, me I not dey Russia. You dey for Russia?
No, I don't dey Russia.
Очень хорошо.
Oga Legacy, I'm trying to be like you when I grew up. Yeah, you're very right that, you know, not Europe is not the same. You know, UK they're different from anywhere. Even Ireland they're different from UK.
But even Nigeria, you know, say 256 different what you call ethnic groups.
Yes.
So all of them not go be the same, Sha. They go get different styles of raising their children, this and that. Now I talk, Sha.
Nigeria is the best country that raised their children.
How many languages you they speak? I don't even remember, sir. I go count them one day.
Okay, so
but, you know,
and in summary, what
yes, ma'am.
actually summarizing this to our parents actually responsible for how we turn out as adults? Yes or no? Or it's 50% thing, or 70%, or 90%? I mean, I want to really know, because sometimes they'll say train up a child in the way it should grow, and when it's old, depart from it. And sometimes, like, I've heard some people, when you talk, then they'll say, if they say your parent train you well, they talk like this.
Absolutely.
You understand? But at the same time, we can still say it's not possible that the things we are doing, our parents are responsible for it. So yeah, my question in general, how can we say our parents are really responsible for this or no? Because okay, let's say for example a girl child. A girl child, she turns up to be 25 years old and she doesn't know how to cook. No, know how to cook. Now, are we going to say like her parents are responsible for that particular action or behavior of hers, that she doesn't know how to cook?
Don't mention parents.
Okay.
In mama.
Now
in mama. I'm coming. In mama your mom need to teach you how to cook now. That one is a minor thing now. You do it for your daughter now. But if your daughter now somebody will want to learn, when we say calm down, the mom is ready to teach the daughter how to cook. But if your mommy knows how to cook, your mommy trained you, you grow up like
I know
25 years, you call it.
No be Calabar, for Calabar, not be demand they cook.
Even 15 years, even years, you suppose, if you don't know how to cook, you understand? You suppose don't jar, you suppose don't wise on your own. You understand? Know how to cook. Ask friends, ask people, on your own, you need to know how to cook. Even though your mama and papa don't teach you, not to talk of when you are 25, come on now. At least enter YouTube, go to Google, learn one or two,
so
on your own.
Point in time that she not learning how to cook as a woman of 25 years old. The mom is also a parent, so we should blame the parents for doing that, for not teaching her how to do that.
Let's okay. You want to come in?
We are going to say if
hold on. Let's come in.
I just quickly want to talk something. This one, I'm sorry. Now every woman don't talk. You understand me? I get some coaches with the men sabi cook too, and say many of those men who don't travel since long time ago. They don't learn how to cook. So this will not be only mama issue. My papa, for example, was a very good cook. So and all of us we learn cooking from our dad. Especially from our dad, and he was a passionate cook. So that one to me, not be only a female something. So
let me put it this way. Some girls, I know people who know how to cook. They just don't like cooking. Okay. Now, if a woman cannot cook, I will wonder what she did in her youth at home. How was she raised if she can't cook? Now, there's some things that you can attribute to parents. Like sometimes I've come across people who are young. I've come across a few ladies who are extremely rude in their manner of speech, and then you find out that they were indulged by their parents. Maybe they were the only child, so they were allowed to just talk slick and, oh, this is my only child. I waited 5 years to have her. And so they don't raise the child right. They're very sentimental. So they don't raise their child correctly. And so when that lady leaves her home, she goes up into the wider world and she thinks she can just talk slick to everybody because she wasn't, corrected or disciplined or raised right in her home. So in that kind of situation, yes, I will hold the parents responsible. If my children are going and acting out, because by the time my children leave home, they must have been well raised enough to function properly and appropriately in the wider world. Now, I'm not saying that children cannot sometimes go off the rails and all of that. And I went off the rails as a child, but I still came back to the strong foundations that my parents had already set for me before I went off the rails. The problem we have sometimes is that a lot of parents don't set strong foundations for their children, so that by the time they go off the rails, there's nothing for them to come back to. So I don't know why a child.
Say some of them.
I will not.
Say some of
I
them.
don't know why a child would not know how to cook.
Some of those girls, they
What
don't
were you
grow
doing
up
at
with
home?
parents.
It's like saying you don't know how to keep your house tidy. When you were as a child, didn't they tell you to clean your room? Didn't they tell you to wash plates? Didn't they tell you to scrub the floor? How were you raised?
Some of those girls, you won't blame them 100%.
Who you blame?
Because I just reason them now. Because some of them fit no know their parents.
But that's a very small number.
They just grow up with people, and those people they grow up with, maybe they're not ready to teach them. They're just helping you to grow. No time to start teaching you how to cook.
But we're talking about we're talking about people who grew with their parents, though. This is about parents being responsible.
No, she didn't say that. She said.
No, in terms of the question, it's still relatable to parents.
Okay, if you grow with your parents, 100%.
Yeah.
If you are a domestic child, you're not a wild child. Of course, you listen to your parents.
Domesticated like a cat.
Excuse me. Come close. You come close.
I like this one. It's funny.
Your parents talk to you. You listen. Your mommy will be happy with you. You people are happy. Of course, she will have anything you tell her to do. She will do. But when you are not listening to your parents, you know the reason. She said, "No, even the reason." You know the day house. The time where you take the kung fu, don't dump. So you will blame your parents for not teaching you how to cook. But if you are someone that live with the parents, of course, if you don't know how to cook, I'm going to blame your mom 100% because she's domestic. She's domestic. She's domestic. She listens to you. She lives with you. You understand? At least if she didn't come to kitchen time to time and pick, and ask some question, what's this, what's that, how do this, how do you do that? Though she's dull, and at the same time, the mom is dull too. So they put dull.
Make I talk something. I beg.
Okay, yeah, you can go.
You know, say this is maybe also the difference of the new time. Me, I get 3 children, 2 boys, 1 girl. All of them are very fine half castle. But all of them, they must learn how to cook. All of them, they must learn how to wash their clothes. All of them must learn how to take care of their room, the household and everything, because all of us go work. So me, I don't want to make anybody depend on anybody, make it come turn to the domestic worker for somebody else.
Yeah.
I don't want my boys also to go look for house one day and they say, hey, I don't know how to cook. I have to find one woman who will go cook for me. I want them to be bold enough to do everything. This one is taking care of you yourself now. To feed yourself, to cook for yourself, make you not just go outside, they spend money every time now. To me, it's very important, say, all learn on the same way. It's not only a woman issue. So, say, that's why I think, say, times don't change. So, not be everything you go still do like your great-grandparents.
But okay, maybe no lie, for Nigerian marriage, more time, now woman go spend time for kitchen. Even
I get you. I get you.
When you have an expectation, regardless of the time, say you're supposed to be able to cook. At least even if you're going to feed the food or something,
But that's why I come in also with the learning, because say that dependency also is not for you. If you depend on money, you have children to depend on anybody. Now I talk. That's my
they've got to be able
own.
to look after themselves at the very least.
But I know, say my great grandparents' time, it can't be the same thing. Say say now the woman go take care of the house, this and that, this and that, this and that. But times don't change. All of us they work, and it benefit us. I'm a teacher. I'm taking care of myself. You understand me? I don't need anybody. I don't need anybody to mistreat me because he ain't go give me the money. You understand me? So that's why I say we still have to learn from each other. So I still believe, say, it's good also to create new times to learn from each other. And I talk.
Mama, do I ask you one question before I forget?
Me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, so.
Nah, black
Tola's
man.
mom is gangster.
Iwatago.
Mama, na black married.
She didn't wash the plate and they ate on it the next day.
Mama. Did you hear me?
I get three. I tell you, say I get 3 half-caste children.
Okay. You marry
Yes.
black or
I marry you brother before.
are you serious?
Yes, so I
know when
get
you say
three
half-caste?
Nigerian half-caste Nigerian children. Niger.
Wow.
I consequence, the
Wow.
fountain of
You are
knowledge. Greetings.
welcome. You are welcome. You are welcome. You are no wonder. You know, you're the way you speak, the way you know everything. You are
I
welcome.
try small, but no, not be the only language I speak. So you know, say I did very strong for languages before.
You have to also.
So you no need to marry to learn language. Now yeah, I won't talk. Say I get advantage because I married Niger before, but I did speak other languages and not be only because of marriage. Na interest too.
Tola, if that was done in UK,
This
they'll
broken
say your mother was
language
a
where they
birthday
speak.
child.
This our African language where they speak now.
Eh.
This our local language where they speak now. It go help you well.
I'm you.
It will help you well because you know
Imela,
we don't value pure English.
Eh.
We don't value good English in my country.
I get you, Sha, but you know, say if to say you speak pidgin for some places, then go yab you.
Most especially in Lagos State. All states. No come they speak good English. Nobody go listen to you.
No wahala, Sha. I go speak pidgin, but you go still see people who go yab me. Then go say, which kind of accent you?
If you speak like this now, if you speak like this now, they're gonna say you saw G. You know, people will be ready to, you know, take you around, you know. They're not gonna cheat you. They're not gonna cheat you. They're gonna say yes, yeah, you are here with us.
Allergy. I tell you, say not be everybody go like but not so life be you. Not be everybody like what you do. Now him be the thing. Sha, you have to live with
do other
it.
people want to come on?
You said?
Do other people want to come on?
No, they're just commenting on the comment section. If I try to call them, they just decline.
What are you doing to them, Melody?
No, not me. They're shy. They're shy to come on. That's not me. They always have to come on live. Yeah. We are almost closing though because we're having a party today and some people would have to like go to the party. Yeah. So
party over here and nothing over there.
Yeah. So I mean we've had great contributions today and here we've got to understand that most of the characters we see from ourselves are not just what they call two people are saying I should call
Omot is a good guy to bring on.
Okay, but I hope there's no Indian person here because this Indian
No,
people
Omot is a Niger guy. Omot is a responsible Niger man.
Okay, who's Omo? The one
Omoti Olu.
Okay, Omo.
_Olu.
All right, I think I have 3 people, so I'll have to take the 3 of you out for me to be able to call these 3 people.
My sister, thank you so much. You try, you really try, Sha. Thank you for the topic. Very nice topic.
Thank you so much for coming.
I'm going to follow you now.
I really appreciate
it. They follow you Tete now. They follow you Tete.
I don't know.
Yes, no wala. Kosi kokon.
Bless you.
All right then.
All right, Kemesia, Odabo.
Nah, Melody, Papa, come up by
All right then. Thank you so much for coming to a live show.
You're welcome.
Let me add the people that are saying I should add them. Okay,
Peace
Day. Out to Kudili.
Peace Day.
Well, those people that are saying, okay, let me see. More and
Hello. Good evening. I don't know say that Oyibo woman will quick model. So I be like
You now fight one fighter.
No, I go fight am. I like the way she dey speak the pidgin English,
You don't chop Nigeria water now.
No be small. E too correct. I like when I see Oyibo they like to speak Nigerian English.
All right, so let ma'am, please can you tell me what's your name and where you calling from? And sir, please can you please switch on your light so we can see who we're talking to?
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Omo, can you please accept your call? The call request. I'm trying to bring you in, Omar, but I can't. Like you're not accepting. Oh, Omar is no longer here. All right, no problem. Okay, so ma'am, ladies first. Can you please tell us what's your name and where you calling from?
My Instagram name is Golden Val.
Okay,
So
Golden
you can
Val.
call me. You can call me that. So I live in France. I'm from Nigeria.
Okay, all right, very good. And sir, what's your name?
My name is Chucks.
Chooks. Okay, where are you calling from, Chooks?
Calling from Germany.
Germany. And our last brother, what's your name and where you calling from?
My name is Olu. I'm a Nigerian.
Okay, Olu, Nigerian, calling from.
From
You don't want to
Ajegule.
disclose. You don't want to disclose where you're calling from. Okay, it's
From
no problem.
Ajegule.
Okay, Ajegule, no problem. So let's go straight to the topic here. Are our parents responsible for how we turned out as adults? What do you think about this?
Yeah. First of all, you know, this time around, the way people grown up and the way we live, most times we take everything as is new modern life. You understand? And maybe if you are trying to do something that pleases you, like for example, you want to do something that will make you feel comfortable, and your parents said, this, you don't need to do this, it's not good. And you yourself, you will be thinking that the thing that they are avoiding you, you will be thinking that is bad. You understand? So for me, if I may say, the way we are living is very, very, can I say bad or chuku?
All right.
Don't off the light. Yeah. So, can you hear me?
Yeah, you just continue. Yeah.
So the way we are living is maybe I may say we are not obeying the parents. That is just the truth.
Okay. So now with this statement you made now, whose fault is it we are not obeying the parents? Our fault. Our parents did not. There were no.
Come again?
I said, whose fault is it? We are not obeying our parents. You said that the truth is this generation, we are not obeying our parents. That's what you said, right?
Yeah.
And I'm asking, whose fault is it? Is it the parents' fault because they did not train us with being strict, or we are being society?
Like here in Germany here, when you hit a kid, they will call the police for you.
Wow.
And you yourself, you know the pain and what we cost and the result of it. So, and you will not allow someone to take your kids away from you. So with that, you try to avoid everything. You understand? You try to avoid everything that will give you problem. you know.
Okay.
And secondly, when you tell your son, maybe stop, don't do this, and inside of, they will still go out, like in their school, the teachers will be asking them, how did your parents treat you? You understand me? So when they said they treat them bad, you don't know what happened. So the only thing is just for you to just avoid everything. You leave them the way they want to live their life.
Okay. So, Mr. Olu. Okay, before Mr. Olu, can our lady go? Can you please tell us? Yeah, are you a mom? Are you?
Yes, of course.
Okay, very good. Now, as a mom, do you think that you're responsible for how your child turns out to be as an adult?
No, not always. It's two ways.
Okay,
One,
explain.
like for the cooking aspect. I know you both talk about that one before. For the cooking aspect, I need to teach my children how to cook, either they like it or not, with force. And two, for the training, let me say, for them to go after I train them at home, maybe they will not go outside and be misbehaving. But I will not see it in my eyes, in my house. They can do that outside. If I see it, I'm going to caution them.
Okay. So now my question here
Sorry.
is, why did you say that you must train your child to know how to cook? Why exactly?
Yes, because I know how to cook. Whatever I know, whatever thing I know, I will teach all my children for them to know it well.
Okay. Okay. Very good. All right.
Because there are some mothers, they tried, some parents, they try for their children. Most of our youth, most of the young girls or young boys nowadays, by the time when they were living in Nigeria, their lifestyle is a little bit okay. But once they come to Western world, turn to wayward. Sorry to use that word. The people are living their life, what they cannot do in the place of their parents in Nigeria. But when they come to Europe, they will be misusing their life here. Because nobody is there for them to talk to them. The parents is not there. They don't care how they live their life. Of which is not good. And some of their friends influence them to that way of living. It's only the one that have the fear of God and have the respect of the parents that if my life turned to this way, how are they going to feel? You understand me?
I get
They
you.
will not be happy about me. It's only those ones that will retrieve their step and follow the way they trained up for home. Their parents will be disappointed.
I see. Okay, Mr. Olu, give us your contribution. Yeah. Do you think parents are responsible for how we turn out as adults?
So first and foremost, the how I turned how I turned out as a being today is a result of so many factors, including the ones that I actually was responsible for and the ones that I wasn't responsible for. As much as I can remember, because sometimes if you look at it from the angle of we being children at some point or still children in the hands of our parents, would have a better understanding of this. I know what effort my parents put into making me be somebody or making me become something. I know that they put in so much effort. Some of the things that they tried to imbibe in me, I took. Some of them I did not take. Some of the things I picked from friends. Some of the things I picked in the neighborhood. Some I picked from school. Some I picked so many. So what I'm trying to say is that the being of a child or how a child turns out to be is a result of the everyday things that people write in the life of a child. And it's not just the parents. We, as we go on in our lives, including me, even to today, every people that we engage with, everything that we engage with, they write things in our life, which is why, as even as an adult, you find out that there are so many things that you remember some experience in your life, the things you have been through, even though some of these things are 20 years old, they're 20 years old, you still remember. So the people that we come in contact with, not just our parents, they write things in our lives. Now, at some point, we make effort to either retain some things or we erase some things from our lives. Does that mean that those things have not been written? Even the ones that we have erased from our lives, we try to undo some things that were part of us. We try to invite certain things. The point I'm trying to make is that the parents are not solely responsible for how their kids turn out to be. So many factors. Society writes in the lives of kids. The parents make effort to make their kids turn out in a particular way. That's apart from the fact that it is one thing for you to try to make a child be what you think they should be. It's another thing for them to be willing to take whatever it is that you try to make them to be. So in the course of my life, I've seen, even in a neighborhood, you see kids that, given the things that the parents did, you would think that those kids should not turn out to be anything good in their life because their parents actually did not do anything, or either their children did. Their parents, you could even see, even me, that even as young as I was back then, I could tell that if going by the things, what effort that their parents were putting into them, if they turn out to be bad people in the future, you will not be surprised. But some of those people still turn out to be good. It's either there were other people that were playing the role that their parents should have played in their lives, in their lives. Sometimes they come in contact with people that they turn out to be their mentors. Sometimes it could be some uncle in their family. Sometimes it could be just one big uncle in the neighborhood. You know, in Nigeria, we have this communal kind of thing. So the guy just picks you up and then just helps you to be who you should be. And sometimes you see that parents, you see what you could tell that these parents are actually they're trying, or they're tried in spite of what they have done. You still think that the effort they have put into their children, what the children they turned out to be, does not even justify what effort that those parents have put in. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that first and foremost, so many people, so many factors contribute to what I have become in my life. Same thing with what every other person has become in their lives. People have, the parents putting so much into them that you think that is a no-brainer. They should just turn out to be good people in life, but alas, they did not. Because there are other factors. In economics, we talk about endogenous and exogenous factors. Endogenous factors are factors that are within your control. They are within. Exogenous are factors that are outside of you.
But you cannot control.
So it's either you build enough strength as a parent to, again, I can also talk about that in terms of SWOT analysis too. Because when you are doing something, when you're coming up with a business as a business owner, what they're trying to do is that strength and weakness are internal. Threats and opportunities are external. So what you do with a business, if your business must succeed, is to build your strength, build enough strength for you to fight threats that are coming against your business, because threats will always come. Work on your weaknesses so that by the time threats are coming, the threats will not kill your business. It's the same thing we should do with our kids, with when we are parenting kids. Try to make sure that you prepare them enough for those things that they will hear out there. Where do they hear things first? Are they equipped enough so that when they're telling them things that are not correct, they know that this is not correct because my mother has told me about this.
Yeah.
So these are things. These are some of the things that I thought. I mean, I can't say everything. So those are some of the things that I remember very well that sometimes, which is why the parents are encouraged that when your child gets to a level, to start to talk to them about sex education. Why? So that people don't teach them sex in the wrong way. So if
Yeah.
you tell them sex education and they know the sex in the right way, now somebody will not lie to them and say what is not correct to them, because you have done your part as a parent to, because for sure they spend more time with their at some point in their life, you will spend more time with their friends than they would with you.
Yeah.
So whatever it is that you have put to them is probably they you have to make sure that it is strong enough. At some point in their life, they'll spend more time with you. But as they grow in life, they spend more time with their phones, with the internet, and with their friends more than they would with you. So, but if you try as the parent to make sure that the time that they are with you, you spend more time, you are able to pour into them as much as possible. Make sure that they have enough things to equip them for those periods when they are going to spend less time with you. I have I have two kids and they are young, and the things I hear from them of recent, that is beginning to dawn on me that it is now that I know I have kids, because my girl now asks me when I say, "They say, Daddy, why?" You know, so she's becoming more aware of herself. Sometimes she wants to be in her room alone. Sometimes and people that have teenagers have told me like to get to a point where they get into their room and they don't even want you to come into their room at all. But right now, they still come into my room and stay in my room. So this is the time I challenge myself and tell myself that this is the time that I should use this time to give as much as possible into them and pour into them until that time when they will not be spending that much time with me. That's what I would say.
Okay, very good. So, anyone has any other thing to say to add to Mr. Olu? Mommy.
And he has already said everything.
Mm-hmm.
And the other part that I want to look into is that after the parents must have tried their best to train up the children, but the children, they have choice the way they are going to go. Some youths nowadays, they will say, "Daddy or mommy, you are using old wisdom. We cannot follow that old wisdom." But the ones that has memory, we know that the parents are not leading them astray. If they follow their parents in the right way, they follow the wisdom that the parents gave to them. Because it's not everybody that is going to follow that level. As far as they are not going to be in that house forever, they miss to talk outside.
Okay.
So they see the kind type of life that other people are living outside. So they will like to emulate with them. But it is not their own time, their own wisdom to use their own memory to think, this thing that I'm doing, is it good? My parents will have said this. That is the only thing.
Wow. I mean, you guys have said it all. I mean, I don't have any other thing to add. Mr. Chooks, do you have something to add?
No.
Okay, yeah, you guys have said it all. Like, I really don't have any other thing to add. Like, basically, we cannot say our parents have 100% responsibility to how we turn out as adults. It's a 50% thing, and even if to some families we can actually say maybe 70% or 60%, but it's definitely not 100% because we have the societal factor, we have the what is it called, the social factor, like the telephone and the social medias and every other factor. So yeah, I mean, I think we'll be rounding up with this, except someone else have any other thing to say. Maybe we have advice for people that have that have gone astray from their parental backgrounds and stuff like
I
that.
still
Yeah.
have other things that I need to say. Like,
Okay.
Yeah, thanks
people
for having me on thanks for having me on. I need to attend to other things now.
All
Thanks so
right, no
much for having
problem.
me.
You're welcome. Okay.
Yeah.
keep up. Some other people now,
Mm-hmm.
if they are at home, maybe they are staying with their parents at home, they will live a different life at home.
Mm-hmm.
Due to that, their parents did not like, or they did not need that type of wayward life with them. They will live a different life at home. But when they get to school, Mostly people that are based in Nigeria now, when they go to school, maybe they live in school, they live other life entirely. If they are coming home, they will pretend. Parents will not know what they are passing through, the type of life they are living outside.
Wow.
Because we should not be blaming or everything about the parents or parents. No, it's choice. There are
Okay.
certain steps their children will get to. It's only advice that you can give to them. Nothing more. That is it.
Okay, very good. Okay, Eminado, should I call you in or you want to say it in the comment section? Before we go, Moscow people, we're having a party today at Enjoy Lounge and I will be there. So we should come, have fun. We should come enjoy ourselves. You know, we're celebrating Easter Friday. So
And
yeah.
we are coming. We are going to take the next available flight.
I'll be waiting to see you.
Rush hour people.
I'm waiting to see you. So Eminado, what do you have to say?
So yeah, I'm not a parent yet, but
That is it. We just
have been
because the way
around
most
parents
of us live our life in this Western
indirectly,
world, we need to retrieve.
and I've seen that some
African
parents
is an
actually.
African.
Can you hear me?
We should not live as a Western world all the
Can you hear
time.
me?
We should
Okay,
remember
thank
where
you.
we are coming
I'm
from.
coming away. Okay. Go on,
Yeah.
Eminado.
So some parents actually don't
We should know where we are
have
coming
this
from.
bonding
Should remember
or
where we are coming from.
communicating relationship with their kids,
Mm-hmm.
and they feel
That
that
is it.
that way they're trying to like
Say you want to say
like
something, boss.
if I start having that communicating relationship with my child, she's going,
You need
those
talk or
kind
what?
of supremacy level that our parents used
So
to do
that is
for
it,
us
my
now.
sister.
Because
Because
mostly I don't
the
know if
things we are seeing on social media now, the thing is
think
not encouraging
you've been
anymore.
saying Western
It's
world
not
most of the time. I
encouraging. The
think
thing
it's
is getting
generally.
worse every
I
day.
think it's generally, but
Getting
mostly
worse.
I've experienced it here more in the Western side. So I'll say
It's not
that.
our parents that
So
caused
I
it.
would say that since most parents
Everybody
now
has his
know
own
that
life to live.
when these kids come here
That is what they
to
normally say.
change,
I'm a youth.
their
I'm
way
an
of life
adult.
will change
I have my
because
own
they
choice.
now feel
That
they've
is the
seen another
point they make.
pattern of life. So it's your duty
But
as a
that your
parent
point, you
to
need to go back
build
home and
a
retrieve your step
build that communicating
if that is the right
relationship
way
between you
to
and the
live.
child and try to keep lecturing this child. Oh, my child, you know where we're coming from. You know where we're coming from. These
Okay, let
are
me
things
leave
to
you
do. These
now.
are things to do.
Okay,
Not
bye-bye, ma. Thank you for coming to our live show, ma. Have a good evening. Mm-hmm.
so not keep
Please
because
take me out. I don't know how.
Okay.
most
You
parents
are Golden Val,
Yeah,
right?
good fire.
Mm-hmm.
so most parents here they like that violent way of attacking the children. They still want to use that way of way they use the way they say oh, handle us now for our time. They still won't use that way. But I've seen that it's not working. That's why, like the auntie that just left, she was saying something about a child going outside to behave differently in school and then come home to behaving differently. It's because they don't have that communication and that bonding with their parents. I'm saying this because I've witnessed it. Like because if you have communication with your parents, well, if you can have communication to say, mom, this is what happened in school today, and your parents not attacking you in a violent way. Hey, if I see you with that girl, I don't want to see you with that girl again. I don't want to see you with that girl. Instead of you to speak to that child and say, tell that child, my daughter, that's our own way. Oh. You know our family, and you know how we do things. Have you seen me do that kind of thing for child? Say no. Okay. I said, don't follow her. If you say anything, say yes. Don't follow them to do anything. You get. I've seen a child where they went for to see a movie. So after they finished the movie, they had extra time. The other girls were like, "Oh, we're going to the park to have fun." This child said, "No, I'm not going with you guys. I have to go home." She would have gone with the other guests to say, "Oh, my mom will not even know after I still have this extra time. I will go home. She will think we are the same." But because of that communication that she and her mom had, like they could talk things out. She can discuss some things with her mom. She was able to like, and then she came home and she said it to her mom. And the mother was proud. That's because they have that bonding, they have that room of communication between them. So in essence, what I'm trying to say is that being violent to your child, like always screaming, shouting, aggressive way of talking to a child, not giving a child a room to communicate with you, to even have a confidence in you, it's not the best way. I'm not saying bring yourself so down. I know most of the children can be like, say our heads will not be correct sometimes. But then let that room be there. Let that bond be there. Like a mother, daughter, mother, son kind of thing. So, yeah.
I understand you. Thank you so much, Eminado, for coming to give us this input. I want to say thank you to everyone that has been from the beginning. That's like we've been here for like over 2 hours. So I want to say thank you for everyone that came in here to give in their own ideas, their opinion, their input, even people that could not call in, but they were writing on the comment section. I want to say a very big thank you. And to our people in Moscow today, we have a party. We're celebrating Easter Friday, Abby. Easter Friday.
Like this,
Huh?
At the airport like this, they just only tell me say I need to quarantine for 2 weeks.
So yeah, so I'll be meeting you guys at Enjoy Lounge today. I'll be there live and direct. So we come and have fun, and do have a nice evening. We have to close now because I have to go get ready.
Thank you.
So everyone do have fun. Do have a nice evening. Thank you. See you tomorrow.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.